Hi, welcome to Elaine Enlightenings's video blog number 31. Today we're on lesson 21 in A Course in Miracles, and I'm very happy to share that lesson with you today. It's very much in keeping with the one we did yesterday. In fact, it's pretty much identical with the exception of one word, and it is the word differently. So the lesson for today is I am determined to see differently. Now, as this is an extension of the previous one, it's just really important that this lesson does get applied to specific times throughout the day where you practice for about a minute, applying it to whatever memories that bring up anger for you. So this is one where you close your eyes and think about situations, present, past, future, that bring anger to your mind. It doesn't matter at what level you might feel the anger, slight irritation all the way to complete rage. It doesn't matter. Don't say, well, I don't feel very much anger with that, so that's not going to count. We're deceiving ourselves when we think that we just have a little bit of anger. Really, there's just a cloud or a veil whenever we feel it's just slight, a veil of covering up that it's really intense rage. And so we just don't want to try to compartmentalize that or segregate out these certain things that we think might not apply. Okay? Anything that comes to your mind that has to do with anger of any level would fit. And besides that, you want to apply it to things that bring up irritation throughout your day. It's late in the day again, and I actually had an incredible experience today where I can apply, where I can share how I applied this, but how I had a difference even before it happened. And it's been a pretty big shift for me from the way it used to be. So I've been practicing this from the moment I got up, this lesson today, and applying it throughout the day. And because I've been doing a lot of training in this area, then I've applied it even more than the amount of practice periods that is recommended, which is 5 for 1 minute each while your eyes are closed. But then I've also applied it to other situations, and this is one I wanted to share with you. So I could say, and this is what you would do if it came up for you that you're irritated in traffic, I am determined to see traffic differently. Well, this was specifically rush hour traffic, so I'm determined to see rush hour traffic differently. I avoid rush hour like the plague because I basically can. Today it didn't happen that way, and I had already been applying this all day, and I just got home from being in rush hour traffic and came and did this video. And basically, I already was really calm when I was approached the rush hour. I knew what time it was. I knew I was going to be at the peak of it, and I had already been anticipating it, but at the same time, not in a negative way, just more like, just like realizing and accepting it. Well, because I've been practicing it all day, I just basically didn't feel irritated. But there was a couple of times where I noticed that I wanted to start complaining. And like I said, any level of irritation, it's an opportunity to apply. And I did. And basically it was just a really great experience. I mean, I was calm by the time we got out of our shower and got home. And I'm feeling wonderful. And this kind of thing normally just totally drains me. And so I was very happy that I could see the shift already in the application of this. So you can count on that if you practice these lessons, that it's going to create shifts, and you're going to notice them at whatever level. Now, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing a lot of training and private coaching that has allowed me to make a lot of shifts and open my mind up so that I'm more willing to practice these things easily. And so that is why private coaching is very powerful, especially with someone who understands how A Course in Miracles, when you apply it into your life, how that changes everything. So it's quite a bit different than regular EFT coaching, although all EFT is very useful. I've just found holistic belief reprogramming, which is what I've been trained in, to be a very powerful approach. And I also wanted to share that as you apply holistic belief reprogramming to your life, it changes everything. So I'm going to use an example from a couple days ago with a video blog that I created on, and I was sharing about a miracle that I'd had around being fatigued that day, and I also did some tapping on fatigue. And if you went back and saw that video blog, you would see that I wasn't seeking solutions in the world for the answers to this fatigue. I was opening myself up to the light by acknowledging the darkness that I have not wanted to acknowledge in the past, and now I'm just going to acknowledge that it's there, and then just opening myself up to truth. We already have the answers. We already have direct access. We have a direct line to source for all of our answers. And so, yeah, I know that I could go do a workout when I'm really tired, and I'm going to feel much better and probably really energized, and I'm going to feel like doing things after I do a workout. But if I acknowledge that I'm fatigued, and that I acknowledge all the ways in which I think fatigue is affecting me, and all of the limiting beliefs I have around how I got that way, I'm opening myself up to a deeper answer, an answer that is a solution that isn't short-lived, it's permanent. And that's the kind of shifts that the Course in Miracles allows as you practice these lessons. And as I practice holistic belief reprogramming, basically it's what it does is create those kind of shifts on a monumental level, as far as in a deep level. And it's very powerful. So let's see here. So I'll give another example. I did a video blog recently on my neighbors and how I have this perspective that they've encouraged my dogs to do a lot of barking, and it's caused a lot of problems for me, and the blame that I've had for them, right? And so I'm acknowledging all of that in the video so that I can also learn forgiveness and realize that forgiveness is the only way out, and the only way out is to forgive myself for blaming them and for what I've actually created. Now this is very advanced understandings, but nonetheless, that's where it is. So I'm determined to see my neighbors instigating my dog's barking differently. So if you feel a situation where you want to blame someone, you'll also want to apply that specifically with the person and the attribute that you've attributed to them. You want to acknowledge that. You want to see that differently. If you go there, then you're opening yourself up to see it differently. That's what we're doing here. That's what all my coaching does, is that we're allowing ourselves to be free so that we can get the answers. Now I'll give you another example before I close, and that is that my son was sharing with me today about a research project at school where they were in groups figuring out how we're going to go on a trip, we're going to plan a trip, and they have to budget every single detail of the trip down to the nth degree. And I thought to myself, wow, I just planned to go on a trip to Bali. Within just a few minutes after I got the intuition about where to go, I did the research, and in a few minutes I knew where I was going, and I had the connections that I needed to get it all planned out. I did no research. It was all happened within a few short minutes, probably 3 minutes. And basically, on the budget of my trip, when I connected with the tour guide, and I was asked, okay, so, how much money and how long? And I went totally on intuition on the amount and in the moment with it. I did this much research for that. And I told her how long. I said a month. And basically, I just got my whole trip paid for, and I did a video blog yesterday on tapping on the guilt that came up as a result of spending all this money on myself to go on a trip for myself, and doing something that's very non-logical to increase my, my ability to be a better coach. So basically, she's planned my trip out now. I've got it all planned. 28 days and under budget. Perfect. And so intuition was perfect and right on. I didn't even have to do any of that research. And this kind of thing kind of irritates my son because he doesn't like to do that kind of research. Now if he's wanting to do something, he'll do some research, right? But I believe that he already knows that he can go on intuition on so much, and that planning all this out is irritating, especially when he's not actually going to do it, right? But there's a more empowering approach to life. So this kind of training with these lessons and the kind of coaching that I do, that's exactly what we do, is that we open ourselves up so that intuition can guide us in everything we do, and we can live in the moment, and we can trust that it all will work out and our miracles will come because we can expect them, and we can also ask for them because we have that inheritance with God to be able to ask for them. So if you're interested in private coaching, you go to taplightunlimited.com/coaching, and you can sign up there. And also, if you want to know more about holistic belief reprogramming, which is known as HBR, you can go to the link I'll have underneath this video. And also, if you'd like to know more about how to become an HBR coach and really learn this advanced type of tapping, then I will have the link for that as well. Have a blessed day. Elaine Enlightening at taplightunlimited.com. Bye-bye.